Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be working on the 280ZX. I'm going to be installing a new fuel pump. When I first got the car, I never filmed it, but I actually was having trouble with the original fuel pump that was in the car. I wasn't super confident in the car at the time, so I just bought the cheapest fuel pump that was available for this car. I slapped it on and it's been working and in there for about a year. So the fuel pump is actually pretty easy to get to and to work on. It's located right there behind the axle, shiny chrome part there. When I start the car now, intermittently, it has a hard start at no particular time or reason. So I have a suspicion that the cheap pump that I bought originally is actually failing somewhere. So I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna replace this fuel pump with an actual good fuel pump now that I know pretty much the rest of the car is running pretty good. Hopefully that takes care of my problem. Alright, so here we have the fuel pump. This nut here holds the fuel pump, and there was a second nut on top, which I lost. So this line here is the line that brings fuel from the tank to the pump, and then this skinny line over here brings fuel from the pump to the motor. Over here we have the electrical connectors. The fuel pump is labeled positive and negative, so what I did was I marked the positive wire with green tape so I knew which one was which. Once I disconnect the fuel pump from the fuel line, fuel is gonna leak out of here. So I do have the new fuel pump ready so that I can just block the fuel line with my thumb and then quickly connect the new pump, which will keep fuel from spilling all over the place. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Everything is reconnected. This line is tightened down, the other line is tightened down. The electrical connectors are connected, and the bracket is back in place. This bracket, to get it around the pump, is a little bit of a chore. What I did was I put the bottom one first, and then the top one has a spacer. I left it kind of loose, and then I placed this, and then I turned the pump so it was kind of where I want it to be, and then I tightened down the screws that hold in the pump. I'm gonna turn on the car, start it, make sure the pump works, and that's pretty much it. Rip. Shit. Uh-oh. So, I mean, a lot of fuel did leak out when I changed the pump, but that could also mean that the fuel pump wasn't the issue for the hard start, so I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Several days later.
Alright, so it's a few days later, and now the car is just completely not starting at all. So, got Nolan here trying to figure out what the issue is and why it just won't start.
Oh, dude, first off, you're gonna get a battery.
Now it's probably fucking dead. It's been, now I need a fucking battery.
What are you doing here, Vic?
Fucking putting the Prius battery in here.
Can't hear you, what was that?
Creating access to the throttle body.
That's not even gonna fit on there.
Huh? You're gonna have to hold it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a three-man job, bro. So I'm gonna have to hold that. He's gonna spray it. You're gonna turn it, bro. So we're not gonna be able to record any of this.
Give it gas.
Several days later.
Alright, so when Nolan and the boys were here, we couldn't get the car to start. We sprayed the brake fluid into the intake, couldn't get the car to fire up. So the next thing I did was I actually pulled a few of the spark plugs, and they were all really black. So that could be causing the non-start issue. So what I'm going to do now, I ordered new spark plugs, and I'm going to swap out all the plugs and see if I can get the car to start. All the spark plug, or the two back spark plugs I pulled were pretty black. So I'm gonna pull all of them and see if they all look like this. This one's not as bad. The other ones have been kind of black and dry. This one's a little bit wet and smells like fuel. Yeah. This one's really black and wet. Yeah, and this one's pretty black too, not as wet. Alright, so here's all the spark plugs. This is the back one, all the way to the front one. So these ones are pretty dry. I think these two were pretty wet when they came out, and this one was just a little bit wet. These old plugs have only been in the car maybe less than a year. So from what I understand, the car is probably running a little rich. So that's an issue that I will have to address if the car does start. I mean, I'm still gonna have to address it even if the car doesn't start, but one problem at a time. I'll grab the new spark plugs, pop them in, and see if I can get the car to start. So if everything hooked up, the battery's hooked up, I'm gonna try to crank it. I'm a little bit nervous. I hope this works. All right, very hesitant to start, and if I let off the gas, seems like it wants to die. It's only staying alive because I'm revving it right now. We'll let it warm up, see what happens. This isn't very hopeful though. The only good thing is this is the first time it started. Uh-oh. There's a lot of smoke coming from the engine. That's not looking nice. If I have to guess, that looks like a head gasket to me. But at least it's running. The car started, which is good, but it's not running good. So there's white smoke coming out of the exhaust. There's white smoke coming out of what looks like maybe the exhaust manifold. If I had to guess, there's either a head gasket issue or I'm not really sure what else it could be. Maybe there's also an issue where the exhaust manifold connects to the motor. But either way, it's not looking so good. But I think that's going to be it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see what happens next. I'll post an update video once I know what's going on. All right.